When is the last time you finished a workout and thought to yourself, that was amazing, I want to do that again tomorrow? Well, the answer is probably never, because somewhere along the way, we've been led to believe that a good workout means that you finished on the floor, you're gasping for air and questioning your life's choices. That's just suffering. Tired, sweaty, and sore are horrible indicators of how good your workout was. Today, I'm going to show you the method that Soviet sports scientists used to build explosive power without all the metabolic wreckage. HIIT, or high intensity interval training, got sold to us as the ultimate method for fat burning and conditioning building. You just have to work harder, push through the burn, embrace the suck. If that's your primary training method, you're not improving, you're accumulating a recovery debt you'll never quite be able to pay off. Compromised sleep, chronic fatigue, and diminishing returns as your body adapts to just being miserable. A Soviet sports scientist named Yuri Verkhoshansky, considered to be the father of modern sports science, asked a better question. What if we trained to produce less lactic acid in the first place? That question led to anti-glycolytic training. So you have 3 energy systems, and I want you to think of each energy system as a fuel tank. The alactic energy system is a small tank, but it has huge fuel lines. This system powers your fast twitch muscle fibers, but it's empty in about 15 seconds. It's explosive and incredibly powerful. It just doesn't last very long. The glycolytic system is a medium-sized fuel tank. This system kicks in when the alactic energy system is empty, lasts for about 30 to 90 seconds, and when this one's finally empty, that's where the lactic acid burn comes from. The glycolytic energy system is the one system that isn't chemically imbalanced, and that's what throws off all the lactate. This is where your traditional HIIT training lives. The aerobic energy system is a really big tank. It has small fuel lines, but it can run for hours. So long duration, lower intensity activities are fueled by this system. In reality, all 3 tanks are always working. But when the alactic and glycolytic systems empty out, the aerobic system tops those tanks back off. So a well-developed aerobic system allows you to sort of go to the well more often for your alactic efforts and your glycolytic efforts. The anti-glycolytic training produced the A+A protocol, and that's the alactic and aerobic energy systems working together, avoiding the glycolytic. This protocol uses your alactic system for brief, powerful bursts, and it allows your aerobic system to top it back off between efforts. This protocol keeps you from dipping into that glycolytic acid bath, and that's the whole point. By repeatedly tapping into your alactic system and giving it full recovery, you're training your fast twitch muscle fibers. These are the muscle fibers responsible for power, and you're helping them by building more mitochondria and capillaries. This allows your most powerful muscle fibers to recover faster, fire again without gassing out. The idea is to develop the power of a sprinter and the recovery capacity of a marathon runner. But for busy professionals, this isn't just about athletic performance. This is the difference between a workout that drains you for the rest of the day and one that leaves you sharper for a 2 p.m. meeting. So here's how this works. You'll set this up using an on-the-minute format. You'll have 2 exercises and you're going to alternate them every other round. The preferred method is kettlebell swings or kettlebell snatches and push-ups. If you don't have a kettlebell, you can do a dumbbell snatch instead. If you don't have access to equipment, you could do this with push-ups and squat jumps. But remember, you want to have explosive exercises. For the push-ups, you're looking at somewhere between 3 to 10 reps. We want to be done in less than 10 seconds, but you're looking for an explosive effort where your hands come off the floor. So you want to make sure this is something that you can repeat. So err on the side of the caution when you select your rep count. Every rep should be crisp and powerful with somewhere between an 80 to 90% effort. Not looking for max effort, and we certainly don't want sloppy form. Remember, every rep needs to be powerful and explosive, but you also need to be able to repeat the effort. You're working for a max of 10 seconds. So if you remember, that alactic energy system is completely empty in 15 seconds. That is not the goal. So if you're only doing 3 explosive push-ups and you're finished in 5 seconds, that's okay. It matters that you can repeat the effort. And because we're in an on-the-minute format, we're done working in 10 seconds, that's going to give you 50 seconds of rest. Now with your rest, you don't want to sit down. You want to make sure that you walk around, stay fast and loose, shake the tension from your limbs, and allow your heart rate to settle back down. Before the next set starts, you should be able to pass the talk test and comfortably get out an entire sentence. Like, my name is Mike, and I like to eat pizza. If you can't get out a full sentence without gasping for air, you're either working too hard or you need more rest. You can run this format for 20 30, or even 40 minutes. The extended time under tension is what makes this work. You're racking up some serious power volume while staying aerobic the entire time. There should be no burning lungs, no shaking legs, and you shouldn't finish in a pile of sweat on the gym floor when you're finished. Ideally, you don't even struggle. So your power is still crisp at the end of this workout, same as it was in the beginning. As I mentioned earlier, if you don't have access to equipment, you can simply use push-ups and squat jumps. Your reps are likely between 3 and 10 on the push-ups and between 4 and 6 on the squat jumps. You wanna make sure that you explode into every jump, but you want to land softly. The kicker with this workout is if your reps start to lose their snap, they're losing their power and they're not as explosive, that's your signal to shut it down. Remember, you're training power. And so if you're having to grind out your reps at the end, you're missing the point. You may have decided in advance that you're doing a 40-minute workout, but if your power fades at round 30, that's where you stop. There are 3 rules you want to follow that make the A+A protocol work. That's alactic and aerobic. If you screw these up, you're actually going to turn this into a HIIT session, which makes it glycolytic, and that is not the goal. The first rule is to honor the rest period. It's not a suggestion, it's the science. I need you to resist the idea that you can do more than 10 seconds of work. You're training for power. You're not that special snowflake you think you are. If your sets start taking longer than 10 seconds or you're doing too much work, you're gonna be right back in that glycolytic acid bath and you've missed the entire point of the A+A protocol. The second rule is you need to be able to pass the talk test every single round. This ensures that you're getting adequate recovery to replenish that alactic energy system. The third rule is you're going to stop the moment your power or the quality of your reps drops. This requires you to be honest with yourself. But the second your swings, your push-ups, or your squats lose their snap or their explosiveness, that's your cue. The workout's over. Continuing to do more beyond this point doesn't build more power. You're just building fatigue. Never lose sight of the fact that you're training for power with this protocol. Famous strength coach Dan John once said, the main thing is to keep the main thing the main thing. So there you have it. Anti-glycolytic training. That's the alactic plus aerobic protocol. A+A. It's not about how much work you can survive. It's about how much explosive work you can do and recover from. Soviet sports scientists figured this out decades ago. If you want to feel energized by your workout instead of destroyed from it, this is your go-to formula. Even better, you can perform this workout almost anywhere. Enjoy.